Hey IP community, back with you this week. Give you a quick video on, actually one, why we had this weird giant brain human drawn on our board. And number two, it's a conversation that we've been having in the gym quite a bit about training, about movement, how it actually works neurologically. So what I got to go through today is why we've chosen so deeply into actually doing neurological work, why we do so much of it, and why it's so important. So we're going to look at just typical movement. So movement could be any kind of movement in the gym, like a strength, like a press. It could be an athletic movement, like throwing a ball or hitting a forehand. All those things are things that we do daily or in activity in life. We're going to break it down very simply into two categories of movement. So there's movements, has two components to it. So number one is what we call voluntary control. So voluntary control would be the coordination of the movement, the strength I need to actually make the movement happen. Where I'm pressing, throwing, I need good coordination, good control of that limb to make it happen really well. Number two is what we call reflexive stability. So reflexive stability is the things that I'm not thinking about when I'm actually doing that motion. So if I'm pressing a heavy weight, I want to make sure I'm pressing that weight and watching it go up where it's supposed to go back down. I don't want reflexively happening though is my spine, my trunk, my other opposite side of the body is stabilizing, so I have a nice solid platform to actually push from. So when I'm pressing a heavy weight or pressing anything, I'm actually focusing on that more than I'm focusing on the stability side. When I'm throwing a baseball, I'm going to throw, but I'm staying stable through here so I can make a nice, comfortable throw. Same thing with hitting a forehand, whatever it is. I need good voluntary control, but I need really good reflexive stability to make that happen. So how this works neurologically is in our brain. So let's go back to our pressing example. So our giant brain guy has a dumbbell smaller than his brain. Sorry, it's my art skills. This left-handed press that he's going to do is going to take place. It's going to be started by command in his right frontal lobe, right cortex here. It's going to be sent down the brainstem, the spinal cord, to his left arm to help to press. So that creates a kind of activation in the brain, kind of output in the brain, activation to make that happen. So about 10% of that total output of the brain is going towards that left arm to make that press happen, to control it, to tell it what to do, and to make it happen the right way. So 10% is going to that left arm. Reflexively, we have stuff happening in the cortex here down also to the brainstem, going down this side of the body to tell this side of the body to stabilize, and that's going to be 90% of that total output. So 10% to actually make the press happen, to actually coordinate the press and the movement, 90% to the rest of the body to tell it what to do to stabilize, so you actually have good control of your body to make that press happen. So when we look at training-wise, what we look at is we can look at the 10%, the quality of the movement, how I can coordinate the movement, and that's very important, and it's a very important part of training. But if I'm kind of plateauing or I want to make gains faster, I think it had a higher payoff looking in this, and more opportunity to get better looking in this 90%. So if I can go to the small 10% or I can go to the big 90% and find out what's not happening in this 90% that I'm missing possibly, that can give me a bigger gain faster. So you guys have seen, we've put videos out before where we've done things like tongue position. If you haven't seen it yet on our YouTube channel or on our blog, you'll see a video about the tongue position. We've done one about gargling. We've done one we do lots of, in here at the gym, the best of their work, so head movements, balance work, eye movements. We even actually put a band on one side of your body to help it stabilize. All those things we're doing are addressing this 90% to give you a better output faster. How this works is that those things are happening. So the tongue, the gargling, swallowing, the eyes in the inner ear are feeding this area of the brainstem, which is in charge of actually making that pathway, stability pathway happen. So when we're looking at training-wise, and when we're looking at what we do the neural work is we're going to make sure that we're actually not missing anything that's 90%. So if I can help you get better faster in that 90%, we're going to get better gains faster. But number two, if 90% of your brain output is going towards one specific task, it's probably pretty important. So we actually need to make sure it's working well, like it's supposed to be working. So we need to go through, assess all those things and make sure those things are doing what they're supposed to do. One, for general health and general good functioning, but two, then also to get us to our goals faster. So if you haven't had one of those assessments in a while, or you're interested in getting assessed to see where you're at, what's happening in those things, talk to one of your trainers, talk to us when you come to the gym, or give us a call or email, and we'll set that up for you. So I hope this makes sense for you. So we're going to keep doing the 10%, working on the actual strength training, but also focusing on the 90% too, while actually making sure everything else is working like it's supposed to, so we can get the gains we want to get out of your movement. So give us a call if you have questions, email us if you have questions, and we'll see you soon in the gym. Thanks.